Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Right? Let's just lighten up.
I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving.
It's as close to a 5-star as you can get. It is January 21st, and last night I went to the midnight release party for Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I had a blast. I thought it was like the most fun thing ever. I think I'm going to go to a lot more of these if I hear about them in my town and in my city. So the bookstore that I ended up going to was actually their first time doing this too, and they said that they want to do more things like this and actually have like real authors come on a panel and talk about their books and stuff. So I'm definitely going to be signing up for more of these types of things to get into the community of books and the book world. But I have a job to do, and that is to read Onyx Storm as quickly as possible while still maintaining and understanding everything that's going on in the book. I got the special edition on Amazon. This one came in today, but I got the regular standard edition at the party because, well, long story short, I had to buy the book there after pre-ordering it on Amazon like 3 months ago in order to be part of the party. So yeah, now I have plans for the one that I did get that was not special edition, and hopefully I can make like a video about it soon or something. In the meanwhile, I'm reading this one because it came in and my sister gave it to me. While I was reading the regular standard edition, she was like, "Is this yours? Did you order a second one?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I ordered this one first." So it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, already I am on chapter 5, and I mean, it's not that bad. It feels like I like the thickness of this book. It's really refreshing because on chapter 5 you don't feel like you only read 5 pages versus when I'm reading Iron Flame or when I'm reading Empire of Storms or Tower of Dawn or Kingdom of Ash, let alone, you feel like you're just stuck in the beginning of the book for at least a month. It's really refreshing to have, you know, this one be 527 pages because out of 527 I'm already 12% of the way in the book, which that doesn't, does that make sense? Well, like 12 point, I'm only 484 pages away from the ending, so yeah, I could probably read 100 today and then 200 tomorrow or something. But the big thing about right now is I cannot focus on the numbers of pages I'm reading. I just need to focus on the story, and that gets me through, and it's been fun. I do have to make myself read slower in order to really grasp everything. I don't know if that's just something I struggle with, but when I do read, I can read super quickly if I want to and kind of scan over it and like get a general consensus of what that page was, and then, you know, doing that throughout the whole chapter and then seeing like, okay, so the chapter was about blank. But with this book, I found myself doing that, and then they would talk about something and I'd be like, wait, what? And then I'd have to go back and like read it. So I'm just actually taking my time with this book. I know a lot of people are like speed reading it, but I don't really want to speed read it. I want to actually enjoy it and really, you know, really feel out the entire stories. Yeah, so let's just get ready. There's no need to talk anymore. I made myself a little den here on my window seat, and let me just show you what it's looking like. So I have these new pink sheets that I'm obsessed with, but I put 2 pink pillows, 2 white pillows, and then I have my little drink and my water, and then I do also have some tea because I was feeling a little nauseous earlier. So I've got some ginger in there. But yeah, guys, this is my little den. Yeah, so without further ado, let's just get reading. I'm gonna go in and get these little grayish highlighters that I have. And I just get real comfy, guys. I also have this adorable bookmark. I absolutely love it. I got it at the midnight release party. We're having fun, guys. So I have been listening to a fantasy ambience playlist, like for a whole Throne of Glass experience and everything, but I find myself skipping so many because they're kind of like weird. Sometimes like they just don't go with the vibe. But I found a playlist called Romantasy Instrumentals Art by Annie Steg Gerard. It's by Tania, T-A-N-I-A. It's been really good. It's 9 hours long, so it's been perfect so far. I don't really like instrumental covers when I'm reading because then I think about the cover and I think about the song versus like when I'm reading. But there are some that have been like really just like on point. And I will insert a clip from like earlier too to put into this time lapse because I've already been reading and I was in a different outfit and everything, so if you're confused, that's what's going on. A lot of the time I also find myself going onto this thing and adding it to my Fourth Wing playlist because it's just too good to like go back and try to find it later.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something about this girl, man, from around my way. Ever try to hold back your feelings, but it just wouldn't say. But when I finally found the words to say, I wanted to run away, simply run away. Can try to run and hide, it won't make a difference. Can't lie to yourself, I think it hurts when it comes to
Okay guys, so it is 9:43 p.m. and the last time I started filming was probably around like 6 p.m. or so. I did take a big long break from reading because I was really hungry and I didn't really feel good. I felt kind of like nauseous and weird, but I ate my food, I drank my tea, and I kind of doom scrolled on TikTok because I wanted to see all the people posting about Onyx Storm, and then I ended up scrolling to a ton of cat videos. But we're gonna go back in. I'm determined to hit page, well it's 10 so I can have time to I am determined to hit page 100 today, or at least chapter 13. So yeah, only 4 more pages and then I'll hit that. So I will get back to you guys when I do. So I hit page 100 and it is midnight now. I took my time hitting it. I think I can read about 200 pages tomorrow, and then on Thursday I can also read 200 probably, and I'll be done with the book. So I'm gonna go to sleep and continue this tomorrow. Hey you guys, so it is the next day and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read that much. So I'm only on page 100 and I think 40. Yeah, I'm 143. We had a friend come over yesterday. I just didn't read because we were busy talking and catching up, and like we stayed up till 2 a.m. so I couldn't finish like my goal for the day, so I don't think I'm gonna finish this book by today. I already saw a spoiler on TikTok of some kind of spiders, and I just got off and I was like, okay, I need to finish this book before more spoilers come out.
Okay, so I am currently editing the video right now, and I just talked about me finding spoilers about spiders, and there's a really funny background story to this later. Just stay tuned for that little spider thing because there's actually nothing about spiders, and at the end of the video I will talk about why I thought it was spiders, and I will probably do another clip like this. So
I'm gonna probably get a little iced drink. We're gonna go do that, and I'll just sit down and get my fantasy music going and just lock in. Also, don't mind my hair like this. Trying a new technique for my waves. Hopefully it doesn't distract you that much, seeing my little scraggly bits. So yeah, let's just get into it.
Hey, yes sir, that's sir, but it wasn't like that back when I met her.
Okay, well, I've got my drink and I've got my book. I want to do some kind of journal spread maybe later. I've missed these characters, so let's just get into it.
It's not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare.
some context here, because I realized only when I'm editing what I missed out and what I didn't talk about or anything like that. So some context here, probably like a week already passed by after that last clip that you just saw, and I got the audiobook available on Libby for myself, and I was listening to that but also reading side by side. I was doing a lot of annotating. Don't mind my little watcher back there. I was annotating and I was reading and listening to audio, so I'm now at the end of the book. This is my raw reaction. I started crying, so I was like, I need to whip out the camera before I make the entire end of the video without a single reaction. So here's that for you.
when calling out your name. I've never felt the same, and it makes me feel a life that is mundane. Wait on, it's been so long till I'm coming.
If you didn't read the entire Onyx Storm book, and if you don't want spoilers, skip to this part of the video, but I am on page 512, and it's the chapter right before Violet's POV. It was just Imogen's POV just now, and with all of this like war stuff going on, I cannot for the life of me remember if Garrick... Okay, so for some reason I keep mixing up Riddick and Garrick, so I've been focusing on Riddick the entire time, because Riddick, Bodhi, and Garrick are like, I don't know why, I see a ton of TikToks about this too, where everybody kind of feels like they're like the same person but not, and I even looked up their fan art, and they're a little bit too similar. I don't know if I'm just thinking about the wrong fan art, but Quinn just died, and it's so emotional. I can't believe this. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're expecting it, because to make a good book you need deaths and you need consequences and stuff like that, and you need them to be like close to the people, because that's how you make the book, you know, you get them close to them. So yeah, and then as Quinn was dying, she told Imogen to tell him your feelings and you deserve to be happy. And I'm like, wait, what? And then Garrett comes and she's saying how beautiful his eyes are and stuff like that. And I was like, how do we miss like little, you know, it's like we're always so focused on the main characters that when things like this, when you're thrown into the POV of a side character and then they become the main character in the book, like for that chapter at least, you realize like, oh my gosh, there was so much banter and so much flirting in the book between these two and these two and these two, and you don't really pay attention until either one of them loses the other, or until it's like flat out told to you by like this. So oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just gonna keep filming until I finish the book, and then I'll just give my summary. But oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna have to cut out so much crying. Okay, but like chapter 64, the little correspondent thing, I'm confused, but I'm gonna turn on the Spotify playlist that goes with Onyx Storm from Rebecca herself. So
Lose you, I've lost you, now I'm coming again.
okay, 5:15 explains the beginning of the chapter.
Failing in the rain, it don't mean a thing unless I feel freer, but look the same. Wait on, it's been so long till I'm coming of age. Farewell, I might say to you as I'm coming of age. Failure, the words that I might say to you as I feel my feet under these clouds.
What the heck happened? Okay, if you don't like spoilers, skip. I was listening to the playlist and it really helped put me into like the mood too. So I was like writing what song to play. She wakes up after Xaden and Sigale try to come up with a plan after he completely like turned Venom, and he asks Sigale to try to persuade Taryn.
Okay, another brief intermission of editing cam here. It's day 2. Okay, so that's why I'm in a different fit. But every time that I mention Taryn, I was listening to the audiobook for a good chunk of this book and I was reading along with the audio, but in the audiobook they say his name Taryn, not Taryn, like T-A-I-R-N. They say it T-A-R-I-N. Taryn instead of Taryn. And it sounds very similar. And I tried to like correct myself a couple times, but yeah, so if it bugs you, I'm sorry, it bugs me too, but I can't go back and tell myself that it's Taryn.
She said, we'll ask him. And then it just comes 12 hours later. And Darna is back, first of all. And she says, I will not let them burn you. And she goes, what? Why would my brother burn me? Which is wild, because I think then something's up with Brennan. She's been missing for 12 hours. Dragons are murdered. People are missing. And then she sees a ring on her finger. So they got married within 12 hours. And I'm guessing Xaden called on the favor that Imogen probably owes him. And Vi probably already promised that she'd stay with him. Don't look for me, it's yours now. So he gave, I'm guessing, that he married her so that she can take over Tyrandor for him. And he said, don't look for me, it's yours now. And Imogen has memory erasing. So she probably had to do a lot because it had to be short-term memory, so she had to be there the whole time. But Vi asked her to. And it just ends on that? No other POV. Last person I would have ever expected to turn. So maybe Brennan? So Panchik ratted them out, but he's not the he. I love the way that Rebecca Yarros makes you feel like you're literally in the story, and it makes you feel like you're in the community. Even like you literally feel like you're a part of the squad. You feel like you're a part of the school. You feel like you know everybody. And yeah, I'm really happy that she also, like, I guess invested time into putting us with Violet and her squad and her quest squad outside of Violet and Xaden. I really like that she did that because we get to literally see how her life is not just dependent on him, but it's dependent on everybody that she loves, and that everything that she loves is literally being used against her constantly. But yeah, I love how much we saw Riddick. Again, I keep mixing Garrick, Bodhi, and Riddick up. I don't know why. I feel like everyone else is too, and I don't know why. Maybe because they were all described very similarly. I'm looking at my annotations, and I said that my favorite chapter is 23 because of like everybody is bantering and Dane is there and stuff. And then chapter 24 is also one of my favorites, so that was funny. But I do also love like when Vi and Riddick telling her how he jokes and stuff a lot, but he's still smart, you know, which we love. Okay, well now I'm gonna go and search up everybody's predictions. If there's a way that helps you differentiate Riddick, Garrick, and Bodhi, please comment that down below, because I need like a little, almost like a key chart in my mind to like differentiate them. Okay, so she said we're thinking late 2026 or maybe even 2027 for the next book. So I'm just gonna sit back, be patient, listen to everybody's theories, and we're gonna discuss it. Hopefully all of the other people's theories can help me remember different parts of the book that I forgot, that you kind of skim over when you're like in that adrenaline rush. I love the aspect that they flew around everywhere literally for, what was it, 3 months or something, or 3 weeks? She said either 3 weeks or 3 months. They were flying around for a good portion of the book, like all together with their squad, and I loved that part. I was eating it up. I really loved that aspect that Rebecca did because she did it so well. It was just like an adventure. I really loved it. So honestly, like, it's as close to a 5-star as you can get. I'm so excited, but yeah.
And as for the spiders, so again, I was editing this and I remembered that I didn't say anything about it. So basically I went on TikTok and I saw a video of me dodging Onyx Storm spiders be like, and it's like this guy dodging whatever, like it's like a green screen thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, spiders. So I just swipe off. I panicked, I went away from the app, whatever. And then I was telling my sister, yeah, there was something about spiders, and I explained this video to her, and she was like, I think they were just saying like dodging Onyx Storm spoilers actually, and you probably just misread it as spiders because there wasn't any spiders. And I was like, you know, you're actually probably so right, and that's actually kind of really funny because I was dodging the spoilers, but I thought it was said spiders, but the video is actually talking about spoilers. So there's nothing about spiders. I don't know why I thought spoilers was spiders, but here we are. So
okay, hi guys. So I have officially recuperated after a couple days, and I processed and I looked at different theories, and I've watched different theory videos, and I've just been able to kind of calm down and process everything. So I wanted to kind of at least end off the video tying it up in a neat little bow. Here's the Onyx Storm finished. First thing I will say, this is the first book that I consecutively annotated like pretty quickly for fantasy, and like I just kept on consecutively annotating, which sometimes I just get tired halfway through the book and then I just don't. I just like bookmark pages and then I never come back to them. But I definitely did annotate here, and I even wrote down like a couple things to note, and then here I would write down what song I was listening to at the moment, because I was listening, I think I mentioned this earlier in my video, Rebecca Yarros on her Instagram previously posted like different songs that she was listening to while writing, or like things that she was really inspired by while writing. So I was listening to a lot of that, and it definitely made the experience so much better. Yeah, I even made a journal entry. This is my spread that I did. But yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I love this book so much. I would overall give this a 4.7 stars because for me, in my own personal rating, when a book has spice, I tend to take at least a point or half a point down, just because it depends how much spice there was. And throughout the book, we have 3 side characters, Garrick, Bodhi, and Riddick. Through this book, I just kept getting so mixed up. I was like, who is who again? And then who's this? Okay, it's this. And then in the beginning of the book, they have like a little chart that shows whose signet is whose. Yeah, so Garrick and Bodhi aren't even in this list. I couldn't even refer back to this and be like, okay, who is who? So I feel like that's also really hard, because I can't even imagine as an author how do you even battle that? I know I'm not the only person that has experienced this, and for Onyx Storm, like I've seen a lot of TikToks and just like YouTube shorts and reels and stuff being made about like how the 3 of them just kind of blend into one person, and just that kind of threw me off like a few times. But the way that Rebecca Yarros can set the scene, I mean, come on. Oh my goodness, it was like, it felt like I was just transported into a movie. It felt like I was transported even like into this world. Like I felt like I was there. I mean, by far it has been the most immersive experience ever that I've had with a book, and it's literally felt like I was actually there. If you haven't read Onyx Storm yet, go read it. Come back to this section of the video because it is really fun, and I can't wait to hear everybody else's theories and different things that you guys think that's gonna happen, and what your reactions were and how you felt about it. But Violet is found unconscious, and she wakes up not remembering anything. I'm pretty sure she wakes up in Erasure because the green gem that's found on her finger, it matches the others from the blade of Erasure upstairs on Zayden's nightstand. So I'm assuming that she is in Erasure now. I think that's what another girl said on TikTok. She wakes up not remembering anything, and Imogen's just standing there kind of awkwardly. They see the ring. Brendan asks her if she remembers anything and where has she been all this time. Violet and Zayden got married within 12 hours of her being unconscious, and Imogen was there because Imogen erased her memory of it happening because Violet apparently asked her to, and Violet doesn't remember that, so she asks Imogen what has she done, and Imogen says, what you asked me to, and that's how the book ends. But before that, where you got Imogen's POV, Bodhi is in the background retching, and throughout the entire book Bodhi's very mad and he's very passive aggressive towards Zayden because Zayden is like, you're the heir of Tyrandor, I need you to be safe and stay here. But Bodhi's whole point was that no, you're the leader and I will follow you to the end, and that's how it's always going to be. So when Zayden wakes up and says, I can't believe he of all people was going to be my new Venom brother, because if Bodhi is so loyal and dedicated. If Xaden's going down, Bodhi's going down with him, and that would give a reason for Violet and Xaden to get married, because then Violet would be left with Terranor in her hands. So that's basically the biggest, most plausible theory that I've heard. I'll link actually this girl's TikTok down below, because I was just sitting in, I was flipping through the page numbers that she was given, and I was just highlighting, writing some stuff down. Another thing that I really liked about the book was that we actually did get to see Xaden's mom, and the way that they were going through the archipelago, like that felt really majestic and magical. And when Violet was the only one that had access to her magical powers, that was a big thing, because later that was also like another theory. When Violet says multiple times when she's wielding, it's not a lightning wielder, she's just wielding from straight up power. When she asked Terran, how could there be limits to my signet if I am the signet, in a way. I think that's definitely a, you know, a paraphrasing quote. And also there are so many quotes where Xaden says, you will be the death of me, or like, only you can kill me, or you can only end me. And it's like, okay, I get that is true, but like, why do we have to hear it 30 times in the book, unless that's like not gonna be the literal ending of them? I think we will see more of Violet's dad. One thing that I usually am surprised about is when characters don't die off in books like these, because then it just kind of shows you that there's so much bad happening, or there's so many consequences happening, but then nothing actually happens to them. So therefore there aren't actually any consequences to war, and there aren't any consequences to fighting in this arena, or like fighting on the mats and stuff. And Rebecca did that really well, where she kept us on her feet with having Mira's throat be slit, which I knew that she wouldn't die because she has too much information to be just like given up that way. And then like, I was thinking right when Mira got her throat slit, I was like, if she has so much information, there's no way we're gonna find it in letters or through journal entries or through books, because she's not that kind of person like Violet's dad or even Violet's mom did in the letters. So it kind of felt excessive to just like throw in like a, ooh, what if she dies, and then she doesn't. But I think later on she will end up dying. That's just my theory. But there is that inevitable doomsday feeling of people close to her will end up dying, and I am so not ready for that. So I'm glad that we're gonna have a year, or at least a year and a half, to kind of relax and wait until the next book, because I already know there's gonna be some kind of heartbreak where the people closest to her do end up dying. I think Rhiannon might, maybe Riddick, because he's also like, we're getting really attached to him. So usually the people that you get the most attached to, they just end up going. I think it's gonna be sadder than Liam. I'm sorry, don't sue me. I think it will be sadder than Liam going. I like seeing the end of the book have different people's POVs, because there's always a reason why we need those POVs. Sometimes I get a little bit impatient, like, why am I reading about Rhiannon's POV when Xaden and Violet are over there? But it's usually because they have a certain point of view that they need to be seen by us for us to put the pieces together. Very happy with how it turned out. Very happy with how it didn't feel rushed. It just felt like war. It didn't feel like she was trying to just, you know, wrap up this book for us. It felt like she's going somewhere with it, and we just gotta hang on and just like hang tight. Yeah, I don't want to be super generous with my 5 stars, but it could easily be the first 5-star of the year. But we'll see. So those are my theories and stuff. If you stayed this long, please comment your theories, or comment anything about this book. You know, if you enjoyed it, or how you enjoyed it, what you rate it, comment that down below, and I will see you guys in another video. But now I gotta go read something else, so bye.